Männer, es war ein langer Krieg. Es war ein harter Krieg. Ihr habt tapfer und stolz für euer Vaterland gekämpft. Seid eine besondere Truppe, die ineinander einen...
Hey everyone, Hydrohead here, and this is Sword Daughter by Brian Wood and Mac Chater. It's by Dark Horse Comics. It was $4.99. Came out this Wednesday. This last Wednesday. So if you're not familiar with Brian Wood, he really likes writing stuff with a Viking or Norse theme to it. I don't know if he's from Norway or any of those places. I'm pretty sure he's American and just a big fan of that kind of stuff. He has a hardback series. I want to say it's called The Black Axe or Black something. But it's definitely about Vikings and whatnot. And I was going to pick it up a while ago, but I decided to look into the people who made it, namely that guy. And he's a bit of an opinionated douchebag, to be completely honest. I forgot that's who he was when I picked this up. I just like the cover, and I'm into this kind of stuff, so I figured why not. You'll just have to look him up if you want to get an idea of what I mean, but he's just, I have a feeling that he wouldn't like me in real life. And, I mean, he'd probably be too much of a coward to say anything, but online, I'm sure he would trash talk the hell out of me. So, let's just go ahead and jump into this. This is about Elspeth Dagsdottir. Honestly, the writing in this is pretty poor. The letter also doesn't do a fantastic job of differentiating between Elsbeth's inner monologue and her dad's inner monologue. And Elsbeth can't speak out loud. Basically, what happened is this little girl's dad was he had his wife, his daughter, and her. They were all in this village. This village got attacked. Everybody got killed except for him and her. And then he basically just, quote unquote, slept for 10 years. Basically, he just sat around and did absolutely nothing for 10 years straight. He didn't talk, didn't do nothing. He was just cared for by his daughter the entire time. And he finally wakes up, and this is basically what happened in the village. These guys with the masks. He finally wakes up. The reason he finally wakes up, I think, because they're kind of like, they're using imagery to tell you how, as well as the words. The words are giving you an idea of the timeline. The imagery is supposed to give you an idea of how it's happening. I believe while he was in his quote-unquote sleep, she tried to steal his sword, and he basically punched her in the face. And so she went and grabbed a rock and bashed him in the face with a rock as payback. And that took him out of his stupor, and he started functioning as a normal human being again. He tries talking to her. She won't talk. She won't really communicate. Honestly, the dialogue between the two is fairly poor. The artwork is pretty good. I mean, it's definitely hand-drawn. I can tell because Elsbeth's eyes are never symmetrical. They're always like... And the shading's kind of weird. But basically, he's trying to figure out what's happened over the last 10 years. And she's kind of trying to tell him, but as you can see, she doesn't speak words. She speaks pictures. However that translates through to words, I don't know. But she takes him to the nearest village. The people there all know her as Katie. Wait. No. They all know her as Elsbeth. I don't know how they know her name. I'm guessing that they all knew this guy back before that village was burned down. Anyway, once he shows up there, they all kind of, well, not all of them, but this guy who I assume is a smith really kind of lectures him on being a shitty dad. But he also tells him about the band of people who came and slaughtered their village. That's these guys here. They're just a group of dudes who love to go Viking, and they don't only target the enemies. They'll target other Norsemen without any problem. So I really wish that they'd done a little bit more on the backgrounds, because this is supposed to be in Norway, and Norway has some of the most beautiful scenery in the world, as you can tell by these deep blue waters and these soaring peaks in the background. This really just makes it look like a shit place to live. So he eventually gives her his sword, or a sword, which is like a big deal. And then they don't really specify who this dude is, except he's Blacktooth. I'm guessing he's part of that village or whatnot, but they're looking for him. Elsbeth murders him brutally. The dad tries to kind of scold her over it. She doesn't care at all. He kind of lectures her. I'm your father, blah blah blah. Pick up your sword. You're gonna use it more, little girl. This is stupid. This is just stupid. I don't recommend buying it. Not one bit. But thanks for watching the review. If you've read it and you like it, let me know. Tell me what you like about it. Anyway, guys, Hail Hydra, baby.